Alrighty, everyone, it is time for your TNA Impact Wrestling review for No Surrender. What is this weird voice I'm doing? I don't know. Anyway, time for your TNA Impact Wrestling review for No Surrender. Somewhat 2015. It was like an Impact theme pay-per-view, which was pretty cool. We got some pretty good matches on the show tonight, and we got some stuff that basically setting up for the people we've been rumoring to go home. We got some of that stuff going down tonight as well. So we started out with a podcast, and it's called the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always an instant classic. I was about to keep going, and then I thought about it. I was like, Casey, I went ahead and said it. I went ahead and let y'all know what it is. So we started out with a video package on Roddy Piper. Very short video package. Honestly, I forgot he was in TNA at one point. Um, I saw him walking through the little impact zone thing, and I was like, wait, they're going back to the old impact zone structure? Yes. And then I was like, oh no, all right, well, close enough. But I thought it was a pretty cool video package. It kind of shows you how much these legends have touched different companies throughout their time in wrestling. So I thought it was pretty cool. It was shorter than I anticipated though. You got any thoughts on the Roddy Piper video package that we saw?
Um, a little shorter than I would have liked. Just seeing that he was such a legend and the fact that he was in TNA for a short time. And I had forgot that he was there too. It was just so long ago. But there was a lot of legends that kind of had a little bit of a time in TNA, which is kind of cool. And I think that, going to Jeff Jarrett, that, helps that he started TNA. So he kind of had the pull with all these legends, helping them, getting them in there to help the company. So that was cool that they did at least some sort of, memorial video for him, kind of showing their respects, which I think any company would do, even if, he wasn't in there, just because he was such a big part, and Dusty as well, were such big parts of professional wrestling in general. Doesn't matter what company it is, it doesn't matter if it's WWE, WCW, doesn't matter if it's some indie promotion that you've never heard of unless you live in that town. They did so much for the sport in general. So it was cool that we saw something about him.
Yeah, and he was in TNA from 2003 to 2005, so that was before they had their Spike TV deal. So if you kind of missed his time in TNA, don't be surprised, because it was before they were on TV or before they were on like a bigger network. Because I'm not sure where they were before that. So next we got a video package on what's going on tonight. I like this because it kind of made the show feel a little bit different with the whole no surrender theme. The only thing I wish they would do with these things is I wish they would change the aprons and stuff like that. Like change if not the aprons, change like the graphics on the sides of the thing to make it a different color. Do something so I can like feel like it's something different than an Impact show. Because as much as you can play a video package and make me feel like it's a big show, kind of that slight color change I think would just go a long way. Whether you do like the aprons, I know they probably have the old aprons. They never really changed the designs, which is fine. So I know they have those old aprons somewhere, somewhere hiding in the archives or something. So I feel like they could use those or change the graphics or something. Something that has to be different. Because even in 2000, I think it was 12 when they started doing these, they at least had like the Genesis graphic on the big screen, which made it seem a little bit different. I don't know. I just feel like that that could have been something that's something they should do. And I wish they would do these live. To be honest, I think it would add more to it. It would make it feel like a bigger show. I think with taped as much as they are as far as wrestling shows are concerned, when it is a live show, it also makes it feel a little bit bigger. So they also kind of showcased all the big matches that they were going to have. Graham and Mr. Anderson, EC3 and Matt Hardy, Galloway and Eli Drake, stuff like that. So, do you have any thoughts on that video package or any of that TNA stuff that I talked about with the aprons and things and
Uh,
such setups?
yeah, I mean, I know TNA has always kind of been having, financial issues. They're not WWE where they can afford anything they want. So like ultimately, I would love to see them do at least some sort of custom set for their, pay-per-views or Impact themed shows. But I mean, I agree with you. The very least they could do is change the apron around the ring. So you kind of, if you're flipping through and you turn on Impact, it's it's an Impact themed special. It's not just the regular show. Besides they were good matches. This was an awesome show. But if I was just watching and I didn't know it was No Surrender, I wouldn't know, because they don't have anything, unique about it. At least with WWE, I know I've complained in the past couple, pay-per-views that aren't the big ones like, SummerSlam, WrestleMania. Some of their smaller pay-per-views, they don't really do a set anymore, but at least they do have like the apron, so you kind of know, okay, it's Fastlane, okay, it's whatever. I think TNA should at least do that, so you kind of know, okay, this is supposed to be a special show, to get people excited about it. Um, but and as for the video, whatever, I was just excited for the show in general. I like the card. It seemed like a really good card. It seemed really predictable. A lot of the matches I felt like tonight seemed really predictable. Like you kind of knew the outcomes of most of the matches, if not all of them. And some of it was because certain guys we knew were leaving. So obviously, it's going to go either they're going to go out on top or they're going to put over, the younger guys. And then for the other matches, I felt like they didn't really, end the feud, so you knew who was going to, win to keep it going on. But I was excited for the card in general because it seemed like a pretty good show.
Yeah, and I I think with even there it goes. I think with even the graphics showing Bram versus Mr. Anderson, they could have just changed the color scheme a little bit, and that's something simple you can do. Just just to make it just slightly, and it doesn't really cost you anything. I just think the little things. And maybe it's a little nitpicky, but whatever. I'm the fan here. I'm right. The customer is always right. I think most of the time. Nah. But anyway, we started out with Bram versus Mr. Anderson. No self intro tonight for Anderson. He goes straight to the ring. He kind of used the outside to his advantage, which was actually a little bit of a surprise. Um, because usually it's Bram who's using the outside and using that slow, methodical pace to kind of get it going. But I don't really know if I saw that dark place that Anderson talked about in his little interview. I didn't really see it in this match. Um, Bram was hitting a ton of clotheslines. He tries to go for the mic shot, but Anderson reverses his suplex into a small package, and he ends up winning that way. So basically, that just continues the feud where Bram's a little bit shocked that after kind of taking the cheap way out. But my real issue with this was that, like I said, Anderson didn't dark place that we talked about. It didn't change anything. That was kind of my issue is he didn't change anything to try to get the win. Not necessarily turn heel, but like change up his aggression a little bit or change maybe his fighting style just a little bit to kind of cope with Bram a little bit. But I feel like maybe that's going to come when they have a more um, a match that kind of fits Bram a little bit more, where he kind of has to go to that spot. After the match, Bram hits his head with the mic and basically just says, Mr. Pathetic. He's calling everything pathetic. If you watch the podcast, he was like, it's pathetic. So Bram's gonna let us know. If you're not anything with Bram, you're pathetic. Okay. So you got any thoughts on Mr. Anderson versus Bram, the Braminator? I muted you, by the way. Sorry. I apologize.
You do this every time. You do this every time, and I accidentally pushed the wrong button.
I saw that. I laughed a little bit.
Well, my thoughts are going to be pathetic, and I'm probably going to botch them. See what I did there? Um, no, but I like this match. I felt like neither of them really went to. I didn't feel like either of them really went to that dark place that Anderson was talking about, or that Bram usually goes to. It didn't feel like that intense of a match, but it was a good match. I liked it, and I like how it seems like it's gonna kind of keep the feud going. I feel like these guys could do a really good feud together. I feel like their kind of characters mesh well together, and they can kind of they're guys that can go all out and put on awesome matches night after night. So I'm excited for it. I'm glad it didn't just end here.
Indeed. I I would love to see. I want to see building on this feud. I want to see more backstage segments, because last week that backstage segment he cut was incredible. The way he said the things he said, the editing was good too. I just really want to see some more of those backstage segments. I don't know why I can't say that today. Those backstage segments that are kind of dive you a little bit more into his character when he's in some random place. Like he'll probably like just be under my chair over there and kind of crawling out, talking to Mr. Anderson. I think they should do that. I'll invite him in. I won't charge him. Just give me an autograph, maybe some dap or something. We'll be tight. It's cool. It's cool with me. But but next we had JB's interview with the Hardys. Um, Basically, Matt says tonight is the night. You know, ever since we came into this business, we proved everyone wrong. He talks to EC3. He says, "I will beat you. I will fulfill my dream and make it reality." I like that line. I will fulfill my dream and make it a reality. For some reason, I just really like that line. But I feel like this thing, I'm a Bobber Jigger, felt like so scripted to me. And I usually don't say this about a lot of promos and stuff like that, but like this one just felt scripted. Like the way everything just flowed just felt really like we have to stick to this. We have to stick to this. It just felt that way to me for some reason. I don't really notice that stuff a lot, but this one really made me notice it. Do you have any thoughts on the interview with the Hardys?
Yeah, now that you kind of mention it did seem really kind of just not natural. It seems so scripted and like I don't know. But I had kind of it got me more excited for the match, but I had mixed feelings about it because in my heart, growing up a Hardys fan, I kind of wanted Matt to finally win a big title because Matt's never really won a big title. He's in WWE. He was European champion. He's been the tag team champion. All that, but he hasn't really gotten that one big title, and I think he deserves it. But I feel like, especially recently, TNA has kind of just used him as, okay, we don't have anybody for this big main guy, so we'll just put him in a match with Matt Hardy. It feels like he's just been that, there's nothing to do, so throw Matt Hardy in there, which sucks, unfortunately. But I was still excited for the match. I kind of held a little bit of hope that, he might, and I feel like they might find it, give him the title eventually, just because, both him and Jeff are getting, older. They've done a lot of damage to their bodies in their career, so obviously they're not gonna be around for another 20 years, whatever. They're eventually gonna have to retire, and I think they've done enough for TNA that TNA should at least give him a title shot eventually. If they don't, I think they're just gonna have a bunch of angry fans burn down their headquarters. I didn't give you that idea, any TNA fans, just so that's clear. That was not an idea.
All right. Next we
Next we
got
got
Spider on
Spider
my
on my
floor.
floor.
That was a good
Uh,
match. That was a really good match.
yeah, yeah, it was. But next we got a James Storm promo, which I thought was kind of interesting. He came out all alone. He said, I took one man that came from nothing and I gave him everything, but he failed me over and over and over again. Now, those who fail me will pay the ultimate price. Koya, get out here right now. He said, I made you something. I guess this was the stick. No, actually, he was saying he made him as a wrestler or something. Obviously, he made him the stick too and gave him the stick as a show of love. He says, he was just abusing him. He was pushing him down and, kind of slapping him. And I was thinking, Koya might strike back here. He looks like it. He rips off the shirt, all Hulk Hogan esque. Rips the shirt off, or maybe Axelmania esque. I don't think we should mention Hulk Hogan ever anymore. We got to make sure he doesn't exist anymore. So Axelmania esque, he rips it off, but and he starts to strike back a little bit and hits the sky high on James Storm. I really think Koya has really improved on that sky high. It looks like he's like throwing them like through the ceiling when he does it. They go up so high, which I really like that. And maybe it's because he's so big. He says, "I am from India. I am proud of my people. You not slap me again. You not touch me again. You not touch me again." And I was hype. I like listening to this man talk. I was like, yes, this is my hero from India that is not named Jinder Mahal. No, this is my, I was really excited. He says my name is not Koya, my name is Mahabali Shera, and I was like, yeah, this is the man I want to get behind. And I was hyped because I think as soon as I saw this, I was like, I texted Casey and I was like, James Storm is gonna put over Koya before he leaves. Yes, please, because I like Koya for some reason. I do. I'm interested in him. I'm intrigued in him, and I feel like with his intense voice, he kind of reminds me of Mata a little bit when he kind of gets out there a little bit. We haven't heard him talk a lot, so we don't know a lot about him. But James Storm probably got backup because there's always room for one more. So, any thoughts on James Storm and Koya kind of having a interaction here? It's pretty intriguing, actually.
Yeah, I mean, Ranjan Singh was on fire tonight. I mean, no, I was excited about this. I felt like for a while there, they kind of weren't gonna do anything with Koya or Mahabali Shera, whatever. It just kind of felt like they started something that they didn't know what to do with. Um, so I'm glad that they actually did this, and um, kind of since James Storm was going out, at least kind of try to put somebody over. Don't be John Cena, basically. Put people over, put the youngins over. So I was just excited, to see more of Ranjan Singh Koya. I'm sorry, Sanjay Dutt. Oh, dude. Uh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Any Mahabali Shera fans, I have to. I have to. No, but I was excited just to see more of him because we haven't really seen too much of him in the ring. We've seen a couple matches where he got some good moves in, but he's still in the Revolution, so he can't really do too much because you have to follow what James Storm says, and if James Storm doesn't say do this, you don't do that. So I'm just excited to see more of him because even before he joined the Revolution, we didn't see anything of him. It was just kind of his debut, and then he joined the Revolution. There wasn't really a match before that, so we kind of didn't have any idea what we were getting with him. So I'm just excited to see what we have in store with Sanjay Dutt. Mahabali Shera. Sorry.
Already. Next, we got a Dollhouse kind of review. Um, it kind of started out with the Dollhouse in the Dollhouse, and then it kind of went into a whole like kind of review of what's been going down with the Dollhouse, Terrell losing the title, and Gail Kim coming back, and all that stuff. So it was pretty interesting. And then we had James Storm backstage. He says, you want to destroy my revolution. I want you in that ring tonight. You ready to put your dukes up with the devil? Whistle, 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 whistle. I don't want to whistle because it probably sound really weird through the mic. So, Casey, do you have any thoughts on the review or the Storm backstage little upset, angry promo? Casey, Casey, Casey.
Every time. I don't really have anything really to say. I was kind of surprised that he did the whistle because I don't remember him ever actually doing the whistle. So that was kind of unique that he did the whistle. That's sad that that's the only comment I have about that, but that's really the only comment I have about that. Yeah.
Well, I was excited because we were going to get Mahabali Shera in a match versus James Storm tonight. Which usually these things don't end up being matches like immediately. I know a lot of times they end up being matches. So next week we'll have Mahabali Shera going up. Usually it ends up being next week and not kind of immediately. Which I like. That was kind of a little change that they went to this time. So I was gonna let you take this match, but I'm gonna let you take the next one because I think you'll like the next one more than you'll like this one. So next we got the Dollhouse, going up against Gail Kim. Gail Kim making her in-ring return. And first off, I see her come out. I'm like, Gail Kim is back, baby. I'm excited. I'm very excited. Jade stood no chances with Gail Kim. She tried everything. It wasn't gonna happen. She couldn't even get the advantage from behind. Like Gail Kim was on her game tonight. She was on there like Tomb Raider or something. Like she was killing it. The distractions from the Dollhouse eventually kind of give the Dolls control, but not really for long. But the numbers game does take its effect because eventually it has to, I guess. You get a nice bridging German by Jade. Terrell hits Marty Bell by accident, and Gail Kim comes in control again. After Gail Kim gets in control one more time, Terry and Terrell was like, you know what? I think what happened, she locked her keys in her car, and she wanted to make sure that she got out by the time the show was over. So she had to go head out real quick and make sure that the keys weren't in there. So she leaves. She's gone. I can't remember what Pope said. I was laughing at whatever he said. Kim starts to fight off all comers at this point, and she has to eat defeat on Marty Bell, I think it was, for the win. So Gail Kim does get the win in her debut, beating up all members of the Dollhouse. Terry Terrell runs away. We still must be quiet for the interest of the Dollhouse, in respect for the Pope. So, and that's completely fine. But any thoughts on Gail Kim's ring return? I almost said debut. Return.
Well, you did. You did say debut for a minute there, and I was like, no, it's not her debut. Sure, her debut was years ago, a long time ago. No, but I like this match. I like that it kind of it made it didn't need to because we already know how how strong and how kind of powerful Gail Kim is, but it just made her that much kind of dominant in the knockouts. She's still the top knockout in TNA. Um, and we got to see some more of the Dollhouse. Terrence Terrell, she leaves, obviously. It wasn't her keys though. She had got something at the merch station, and they were holding it for her, but she wanted to make sure that it was still there. Because they might lose it. So she went to go get, I think it was like a T-shirt or something. She wanted a T-shirt. Because they don't get free T-shirts. That's a myth. They don't get free T-shirts, so she had to go buy it. She had to go pick it up. I think it might have been for like her niece or her nephew or something like that. She's a good person. She's a good person. I don't know where I was going with that, but it was definitely a good match. I don't know that it really kind of built on anything. Obviously, I feel like they're trying to build more of a feud with Gail Kim and Taryn Terrell, but I'm more interested in her kind of just being mad that she lost the title. I'm not really that interested in her having a feud with Gail Kim necessarily. I'm just kind of more interested in that kind of sort of mentally disturbed aspect of the Dollhouse, where she's just kind of angry and mad that she lost the title. And where was my girl Brooke tonight? I'm just saying, why? How can you not have the Knockouts champion on a show? I'm just saying, whatever. It was a good match. And it was a handicap match, which we don't usually see in really any women's division. I don't think. You certainly don't see it in WWE. So that was kind of something refreshing to see. I feel like TNA does kind of do more with their women's division than WWE ever does. We get ladder matches, we get triple threat matches, we get handicap matches, steel cage matches. So it's exciting.
Well, while we're on the, I'm gonna mute you again. But while we're on the subject of this, one of the people I've had on recently, Sh- Short on Friends is what I'm going to call her because I just forgot her name. I apologize. But she, don't shake your head at me. she said basic.
We're the same person.
Yeah. Basically, Casey. That's why I forgot her name because obviously Casey and her are the same person. But but yeah, she basically said that she thinks right now that WWE is doing a better job with their divas than TNA is doing. Do you agree with that?
NXT, yes. NXT definitely. Main roster, no. I. But then again, they don't do anything really that good on the main roster. I feel like all of what's really going well in WWE right now is based around NXT and based around the guys coming up. No, not around John Cena. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like maybe now, yes. With the will you stop that with the the NXT divas coming up, kind of making the divas revolution, if you want to call it that, because that's they've been calling it. Okay, so now, yes, you could say WWE is doing a little bit better, but I feel like in general, the past, I'll even say since TNA started the Knockouts division, they've been better than WWE in general because they have been more kind of revolutionary in their women's division. Like I said, we've gotten ladder matches, we've gotten steel cage matches, we've gotten handicap matches, which we never get in WWE. Which so I feel like you could go either way, really. It just depends on how you look at it.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
my
my
biggest
biggest.
between the two is that I still feel like TNA's knockouts to me at times feel like divas to me. The way they wrestle at times, it feels like diva esque. Just the way their moves, some of the moves hit. I feel like to me, Brooke seems like a diva to me. I love Brooke. Don't get me wrong, but like at times, I feel like she seems like diva esque. Sometimes I don't know. If we have no further thoughts, I will give you this next match. We had a nice little promo with Galileo and Eli Drake, which I thought was really cool. I like the editing style and the camera work and stuff like that with these little promos that he does. Um, do you have any thoughts on that? And feel free to dive into the match whenever you feel like it. Whenever you'd like. The floor is yours. And, and don't forget that I muted you because we're friends. And how do you not know this by now? You should get with the program, Casey. Get with that program.
So,
You
so
should know.
I'm getting Eli Drake. I'm getting that match. Is that the match that I'm getting right now? All right. I don't know why I talk like that, but I don't know.
He a good old cowboy, Casey, man. Good old cowboy over there.
Whatever. I really like the promo or the video package, whatever you want to call it. And that's one thing that TNA has done really well with, especially with the certain. I won't say everybody, but they do it with the Revolution. They give them cool kind of video packages and promos edited well. Um, they did it with the BDC, they did it with the Rising. Just cool editing that kind of makes you. They did not do it with John Cena. He is not.
That's the BDC sign.
Oh, I thought you were doing. I thought because this looks very similar to. I'm done. No, I definitely liked it, and it just shows that you know, Drew is really good on the mic, and unfortunately, WWE never really gave us the opportunity to see that. Um, so I was excited for the match in general because both of these guys are really good, both on the mic, and I think you're frozen right now because you're just kind of doing this thing the whole time. So whatever. So you're probably gonna leave in a second because you're probably getting kicked out or your computer just restarted. But we'll keep going. We'll keep going for the fans. Um, what was I saying? Yeah, I like these both of these guys. They're both really good in the ring. They're both really good on the mic. So I was excited, but getting into the match, you know, you could tell they were really, it was an intense match. You could tell there was kind of a history involved in the match. It wasn't just, a match put together. It was kind of the feud it was built up. So that was cool. I didn't really write too much about it. There was a few spots that I didn't really like. Um, there was a spot on the entranceway where I believe it was Drew, and he's back, I think. There was a spot on the, and I'm gonna wait for him to come back. Hold on, hold on. Gonna wait. We're gonna wait just a second because I, I don't know. I don't like when I'm just talking to nobody. So we're gonna wait just a second. He's gonna be back. You might want to fast forward through this part. All right. I'm going to continue what I was saying. There was a couple spots in this match that I kind of didn't like as much. There was a point where they were on the entrance ramp, and I think Drew went to clothesline Eli Drake, and they didn't really connect. You could see that they didn't really connect. What are you doing? Are you here or are you not? I don't understand what's going on right now. I don't know if you're here. And he's gone again. But yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like that didn't really connect. But in general, the match was really good.
I was switching.
Oh, did your computer restart again?
No, it just the internet went out.
Oh,
Randomly.
but yeah, it was a good match. I'm just excited for more of this feud. Because I feel like this match was just basically to build up the feud more. Because Eli Drake did win. So kind of it just builds up that feud a little bit more. So I'm excited about it.
All right, let's see if I can do this with being. Get out of here, draw. I need you. For some reason, draw was being weird and wanted me to use it. So we got Eli Drake and Drew Galloway. I like this match. First off, what? In mind, when we see somebody wearing something ridiculous, what was he wearing? Eli Drake had a shirt that looked like it had on it. I don't know if that was just to put the sit down on there, but that thing looked like it had duct tape on it. I was like, really, Eli? Really? What'd you say?
It said hashtag sit down. I loved it. I was like, I want that shirt.
Yeah, I laughed at it, and I was like, why does it look like it has duct tape on it? Did he make that? Did he make that just a few minutes ago before he came out there? It was actually a project. His daughter made it for him. You know, obviously that's what it was. His daughter made it for him in school, just going back to school. First day of school project. Makes sense. But you know,
They're going
I
back
love how
real early.
hey, don't question the joke. but summer project, okay? Summer project. Anyway, I love how Drew, uses the crowd. I love that. I think that's something that's refreshing to see. Sometimes I feel like you can't touch the wrestlers all the time, and it's kind of cool to see Drew do that. Which is weird to think about because in the world title match, the fans looked like they were scared to look at the wrestlers. Um, I was watching the world title match, and there was this this young girl in the front row. She was like, "Oh my god, they're so close to me!" I'm like, What is this? What are you doing? Have you never been to a wrestling show in your life?" But that spine buster on the apron was ridiculous. I was like, "Yes, can I have more of this, please?" Um, love how Galloway just chased him everywhere he could chase him. The German into the corner was epic. I was like, "Yeah, German into the corner!" That's use my voice when I get excited. Um, but Drake does end up hitting the roll up with the tights to win, and I was like, "Oh man," I was hoping Drew would win, But obviously they're trying to continue this thing. I would not be surprised if this thing continued through Bound for Glory. I hope it does. To be honest, this will be a good match at Bound for Glory, especially with the amount of time you get at a pay-per-view. And Drew and Eli, we know Eli's talented from the little bit we've seen of him. So this could be a really good build because if you look at Drew Galloway, he's really good on the mic, and then you have Eli Drake, who's really good and a jerk on the mic. So I think we could make this a thing. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed this match. What were you saying about like there were points that you didn't enjoy? What were the points? I was kind of in and out at this point with my internet being as stupid as possible.
There was a couple spots like on the rampway where I think it was Drew clotheslined Eli Drake and it didn't connect. Like you could see it didn't connect at all. They just kind of went through the motion. I just didn't like that. I felt like they could have made that look better. But the match in general was awesome. There was just those little nitpick parts where you're like, I saw that was, but it was a good match. I'm excited for the feud to build up.
I think it's an interesting thing. I'm glad Drew Galloway's getting a chance to show that he's not a joke. It's such a refreshing feeling for me. I feel like I've said that like 3 times, but it is. To see Drew Galloway, not be a joke in the 3-man band, baby. All they need is Heath Slater. They already have Jinder Mahal. they already have so I had to do it. Had to do it. But next we're in Bully's office. His table, in some random spot in the backstage area. Um, we learned, some interesting things here. First off, Brian Hebner will be a senior referee when Earl retires. I was like, okay. I didn't think you could you just get to senior status by your dad retiring. I thought you had to not necessarily earn it, but at least get old. I thought that's what the senior was for. You get all the discounts at the restaurants. You get your parents in for free. All that. I thought that was what it was for, but maybe not. Maybe I was tripping. Um, but Rude is basically not having Aries leaving. It was interesting because Rude talked about not he's not gonna let this happen, and then during the match he didn't come out and do anything during the match at all. Like I was like, wait, what? Like I was like, was this recorded like today, and then y'all did the match like a year ago? I was like, wait, that makes no sense for him to not come out at all. But whatever. But you got any thoughts on Bully Ray being in his office or his table? All he's got to do is pretty much if he sits under the table, it'll pretty much be an office. He's got 3 walls at least.
I mean, I'm sure a lot of people like this whole, he doesn't really have an office. He just kind of has a table wherever. But I personally don't like it because it reminds me too much of 2 things. One, Mick Foley is the commissioner. Same thing. 2, well, at least these guys had a door. But 2, the APA. It just reminds me of those 2 things. And it's kind of... I feel like they could do something a little bit more unique with him, other than just...
You liked that 2 weeks ago. I remember you saying you liked that 2 weeks ago. So it's worn off that quickly?
I like it originally, but I don't know. I feel like he could get some sort of office. Like
it was funny because you liked it for that exact reason, not the APA reason, but the commissioner reason. I just thought that was funny.
Yeah, but I feel like he's not Mick Foley. He's he's more of a... I feel like he could get at least not a big fancy office, but some like a room at least. It could still kind of have that feel to it, but make it a little bit unique for him. Not make it just seem like they're ripping off WWE.
All right. Next, we got Austin Aries versus Rockstar Spud. Career versus name. I don't really know how significant the Rockstar name is. I was expecting Aries to kind of ask for something else, something bigger than just a name. I feel like Rockstar is not the biggest thing you can get in name land. He could have been called probably anything like King Austin Aries or only be known as the greatest man that ever lived and not Austin Aries. I don't know. I feel like career and then name. I'm like, well, wait, but what does Spud really have to lose? Little old Spud, as Austin Aries said last week. But Austin Aries hits the last chancery immediately, as soon as the match started. And he was basically in full control. It seemed like Spud would have it. It just wasn't really happening. Aries like played around with him a little bit. And when Spud did take advantage, it just didn't last. Aries didn't let it last. Aries kind of seemed like he was the veteran here, I guess you could say. Um, Spud almost got him on an inside cradle there early on in the match when he went for the brainbuster, but it was only for two. I'm glad they didn't end it that way because I would have been disappointed. We got the discus elbows for days by Austin Aries. Then we get the corner drop kick again on Rockstar Spud. Brainbuster on Spud for two. Actually, really, really good, you know, sell and everything there with that brainbuster. It seemed like it could have been, if you didn't know the backstage news, it seemed like it could have been over right there. But Spud was kind of spudding up a little bit on Aries with the punches. He tries to go, and the bow tie is off, baby. He takes the bow tie off, goes for the flip flop and fly wind up, but Aries, hits him with a clothesline. But eventually, Spud does wind up, hit the wind up punching and knocks Aries out of the ring. We get the over the top dive from Spud. He gets him right back into the ring. He goes for like the frog splash, kind of cross body a little bit. And then he tries to go for the underdog, but it's reversed. Aries puts him up in the corner. He tries to go for the back suplex, but Spud hits a like super underdog for the win. And I was like hype when he did that because I was like, is he about to hit the underdog from there? And I was like, yes, underdog! I was excited a little bit there when he hit that. I thought that it was really good. I was it kind of ended up being like a cutter after like Aries like turned so much during it. It kind of ended up being somewhat of a kind of a cutter, but he did end up winning, and it was just a great moment at the end of the match, kind of showing him respect, hugging you out a little bit. I thought that was kind of cool. Good to see Aries and Spud. Gonna miss Aries though. But good to see Spud. The commentators kind of played it up that he's faced so many big names, but he hasn't beaten them, and it's kind of good for him to get his first kind of big victory against Austin Aries. So, do you have any thoughts on Austin Aries versus Rockstar Spud? Career versus name.
Yeah, I mean, this is again one of the matches that was really predictable. You could just tell, even if you didn't, read the spoilers and whatever, you kind of could tell. Even from last week, the promo that Austin Aries did, it seemed a little half-assed. Like he knew he was leaving anyway, so he kind of didn't. It felt like he didn't put everything into it. It was just kind of like, if I can beat Spud, I'll leave. It didn't seem like he really like his heart was in it, But I knew he was leaving anyway. I had read all the whatever rumors and whatever. So it was kind of predictable that he would put Spud over. Usually 9 times out of 10 when it's career versus whatever, the person that's putting their career up is either leaving or retiring, so you can generally tell. But I thought it was a really good match. They both sold each other's moves really well. The underdog was awesome. I would love to see, I kind of didn't want Aries to leave because I kind of wanted to see them have another match, But if he is going to, because I know a bunch of them are going to Global Force, and Global Force is apparently going to be working with TNA, so I don't think they're really leaving. But we'll see what happens. But it was a good kind of push for Spud, even though he's already kind of over with the fans. So, it was just a little bit more of a push for him, which was cool. And the hug at the end was cool. It's always good to see something like that, where they, show mutual respect and everything like that. So.
Alrighty. Next on the card, we got Rude and Aries backstage. They're having a nice heart-to-heart moment, which I thought was cool. Um, kind of solidifying that Aries is leaving. I think he's actually going to Ring of Honor. Supposedly, he's been going to Ring of Honor. The human spoiler machine let me know that he was going to Ring of Honor. So that's just what I'm gonna call him. And if anyone knows who it is, you'll get the joke. But Casey, you got any thoughts on their little heart to heart moment they had here?
The hug, the
Yeah, the hug, man.
the hugging
The
out.
the the backstage and the random um with Rude and Aries, backstage in the random place on this random
Um,
truck he was on or
yeah,
wherever he was.
it was cool. Part of me was waiting for like Rude to turn on him and attack him because it seemed like something was gonna happen. Um, but at the same time, I wasn't expecting it to because he's leaving anyway. So why would you do that if he's gonna leave anyway? But I part of me was kind of expecting some sort of like attack on him. You lost, now you left me, whatever. But it was cool. He kind of in a way got his goodbye because he has done so much for TNA. Um, so it was kind of cool to see that last moment.
Indeed, and I think sometimes you get TNA has been known to like send you out and not really like a blaze of glory, like send you out getting
Yes,
the
sir.
crap beat out of you. Yeah, and AJ Styles kind of got that treatment too, losing the title to leave, and kind of losing it in a dirty fashion at that. But next we got James Storm going up against Mahabali Shara. I don't know. I probably pronounce his name a different time every time I say it, but it's all good. He'll let us know. He'll tell us enough. But Storm doesn't even let him get in the ring, and and he starts to slap Cher, play the mind games with Cher, but Cher is tired of getting slapped around. He starts to show that aggression. Um, I think he went for like I don't know if it was a crossbody or like just a knockdown, but he knocked himself down. He was getting so fired up. I was like, all right, he getting hype out there. That's a comeback moment right there. WWE, put that in the game. I want to next year when I create my character, I want a comeback moment where I knock myself down. All right, that's what I want, baby. But Storm gets himself disqualified with a cowbell shot, and he tells him this just turned into your nightmare. So obviously this is going to continue through the end of these tapings. James Storm is done after the end of these tapings. He said it on Twitter. So this is going to continue for a little bit at least. So, or I think what is it, September? I think it is. So, you got any thoughts on James Storm versus Mahabali Shera? I was expecting a little more, but they gotta continue it a little bit. It's kind of a spur of the moment match. I guess they want to build on it a little bit too.
Yeah, it seemed really short. I was expecting more. Um, I wasn't surprised with the way that he kind of won via disqualification or whatever. But it just seemed like they could have had a longer match. But uh, I guess that kind of helps build a little bit of a feud there more, that he did cheat to win or whatever, or to get this disqualification, I should say. And kind of helps build up this feud, especially if he's kind of putting over Mahabali Shera before he does leave in September or whenever the tapings end. So that's kind of cool. I'm excited to see what they do with this.
All right, alrighty. So, we got breaking news. The Law, Bully Ray, is down backstage. We get this kind of camera shot of Bully Ray being down backstage. Do you like my news music? I think you liked it. Anyway, we got we got Bully Ray down backstage, and then we get this nice shot of in this random room of DC and Jared, and she's on the phone, and Jeff kind of says he wants to help. He wants to go before us to help. And he said next week he wants to put put some matches together. It'll be a heck of a show. And he says he just wants 1 week to run the show. So that's kind of cool. I think this is kind of cool. A cool way to insert Jeff Jarrett into it, especially with Bully Ray just dipping out as soon as possible. He dipped out faster than Terrence Terrell, man. Um, so Bully Ray not being there anyway. So I feel like this is a good way to kind of get him in there too. It's gonna be interesting. I hope it's like a really good show next week, and that'll bring in some ratings a little bit. I think too. Seeing Jeff Jarrett back on TV again, and in kind of a not necessarily unexpected way. And then we got EC3 getting his train on. He says, "I am unpinned, unsubmitted, unbreakable, unbendable, undisputed, undefeated world heavyweight champion." He said, "It's fitting you picked a match with no pins and no submissions. You think you're playing with house money? The money always lies with the 1%, and the money always lies with EC3." I like this little promo we cut here. We obviously know EC3 is good on the mic. Apparently, Sharia doesn't like EC3, and that's an issue. Cause let me just let you know, just in case you forgot, he's the champ. Darn it, you better like him because he's the champ. He's the champ. Oh, sorry. But yeah, any thoughts on EC3 training and Dixie Carter and Jeff Jarrett, or we got Bully Ray down back? He's down backstage. He is down. I can't even get it out. He's so down right now.
Uh, First of all, I mean, we may be the same person because I don't like him either. So I mean, maybe we are the same person. I don't know. I don't care that he's the champ. I don't care. Uh, but it it's kind of weird that so soon after Bully Ray was put as the commissioner head, whatever you want to call him, that he's taken out. But it does give Jeff Jarrett a chance to kind of step into that role and kind of insert Global Force into TNA. So I hope we do see some Global Force guys next week. I'm excited about that. Hope maybe we'll see some like interpromotional matches, which would be cool. Kind of is reminding me of back when WCW and ECW invaded WWE. You'd have the interpromotional matches, WCW versus WWE or ECW versus WWE. I hope it's kind of like that a little bit. So I'm just excited for it next week.
All right.
All right.
I
I
really
really
hope
hope
they get a
they get a
chance to use
chance to
some
use
of
some
those
of
like
those.
Ring of Honor guys too. Not just like the guys who came from TNA. I think that would be really cool if Jeff Jarrett can get them to kind of work together. And Jeff Jarrett is kind of a guy who's been pretty good working with talent. I feel like in the past, so maybe he could do that. That would be great. Um, but next, baby, let me go ahead and strap it on for you, cause the champ is here. And I'm not even talking about Cena yet. It'll be another show for another time. But the champ is here. The champ, darn it, he's here. We got Matt Hardy, and he's not the champ though. Going up against EC3 for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship in Full Metal Mayhem. I misspelled mayhem, and I'm upset at myself. But first off, I thought it was funny that the title was hanging up. The title was hanging up like I think each of the Tyrus was holding it or something in the little backstage thing that they did, and then like we switch shots and it's up like hanging above the ring, and I'm like, how'd they get that title up there so quick? I'm like, wait a minute, they know magic. They got that magical skill going on in there. All right then, Hardy takes control early. EC3 looking for an equalizer, so he obviously grabs the sledgehammer. No, he actually grabbed the chair, but he ends up getting caught with a side effect through that chair. Hardy goes up the ladder. Goes with the ladder at this weapon of choice. At this point, we get a hip toss onto the ladder. And then Hardy's like, I got a chance here. I got a chance. I gotta go up and grab this title. So he tries to go up to grab the title, but catches a shot in the leg with that chair. EC3 using the opening of the steps, which I thought was pretty unique. We don't really see that a lot. The bottom part of the steps as the opening. He kind of put Matt Hardy in there and kind of stomped him out a little bit and flipped him around a little bit. It's probably like a carnival ride or something, for Matt Hardy there. But we get the chair, ladder, yam bag shots, which that kind of hurt. We get the power bomb through the table from EC3. And then as EC3 thinks he's got a chance to get up and get his title, power bomb off the ladder to EC3. Matt Hardy puts the ladder between the ring and the stairs. This is one of those TNA ladders. I thought it was funny how we had two completely different ladders. The ladder that was mainly used for climbing was a horrible ladder, by the way. It wasn't like one of the TNA ones with like the branding on the side. So I thought that was interesting that they use another ladder. But Hardy ends up getting pushed down onto that ladder. We get a side effect on the apron. Ow. I love these apron moves though. As much as they hurt me a little bit, I love the apron moves. We get a leg drop off the top rope through the table on EC3. Shots to the knees of Hardy as he looks to climb. Then we get both men kind of struggling to get up the ladder. EC3 kicks Hardy's legs right from under him and grabs the title. And EC3 is still your TNA World Champion. So you know what that means. For one more week, at least, I get to say, he's the champ, don't it? He's the champ. Sorry. Casey, you got any thoughts on Full Metal Mayhem? I thought this was a really good match. It had some interesting things, and it was a good way to show that EC3 can do something other than, be in just wrestling matches.
I mean, yeah, this was an awesome match. I felt like both of them kind of surprised me in this match. They kind of went all out in this match. There was lots of weapon usage, which I usually get upset with matches like this because they only use like 3 weapons and then the match is over. But they used a lot in this match. I like that, they did kind of use the bottom of the steps, which I never even really thought to use. Like, that's not something that I really ever thought about. So that was kind of cool that they did that. The ladder to the ding ding shot was first off, he just rams it in there. And then he hits it with the chair. I was like, come on, Matt. Come on now. I mean, I don't like the guy, but come on now. That is too much. The side effect on the apron was awesome. That was that was amazing. I want to see that again. I don't like EC3, so you could do it to him again. He'll be fine. And finally, the leg drop off the top through the table. I kind of expected EC3 to roll off the table. I didn't expect Matt to actually get the full leg drop through the table, so I was kind of surprised at that. But then, obviously EC3 wins, which I was upset about. I wanted my boy Matt to get the title one time. But he still has time. Maybe Bound for Glory, he'll get it, unless Jeff's back, in which case they'll just give it to Jeff, because why would you give anything to Matt? Why would you care about Matt?
I'll be honest with you. I've never really liked Matt Hardy until like right now. I like, for some reason, really like Matt Hardy. Like, I was like, if Matt Hardy wins this match, I won't cry about it, because I've never. It's not that I've not liked Matt Hardy, because it's just been I've never liked Matt Hardy as much as Jeff Hardy, because Jeff Hardy is just like ridiculous. But yeah, like I feel like Matt Hardy, should kind of have a good title run. I love how the crowd was actually chanting Matt for champ. I thought that was pretty cool that the crowd was kind of getting behind him. But yes, if you didn't know, he's the champ still. Darn it, he's the champ. So I mean, I just want to let you know, just in case you forgot or something. I don't want you to forget. I don't want you to forget. EC3, Ethan Carter of the Thirds is still your TNA World Champion. Uh, but but this was a good show. Just still, my only thing is just, can you change just slightly, a little bit, something, the graphics, the apron, something. That's all I need. That's all I need to make me feel like I'm in no surrender zone, man. Like Luke Harper in that zone, baby. That's all I need. But Casey, you got any final thoughts on TNA? Any shout outs you want to make? If you want to shout out, this channel, feel free. Anyway, anything you want to shout out Justin's channel, human spoiler machine channel, whatever, however you want to do it. Do whatever you want. Do whatever you want.
Definitely don't go check out the Human Spoiler Machine because he'll spoil everything for you. It was a really good show. Like I said, it was a really good show. Predictable. Obviously, we knew 90% of the matches how they were gonna go. But they were still really good matches. They still kind of built up stories and ended stories, and did what they were supposed to do. And then we get a little bit more excitement because this is gonna sound horrible, but excitement that Bully got taken out. Not excited that Bully got taken out, but excited that it kind of gives the chance for a Global Force to kind of enter the picture. Hopefully. Hopefully we'll see, like DJ and I both said, hopefully we'll see some other guys, from Ring of Honor that aren't necessarily known for being in TNA. So that'll be cool. And then other guys that just aren't, haven't really had their shot in kind of the big, WWE, TNA, or Ring of Honor, because there's a couple guys in Global Force that haven't been in any of the three companies. So that would be kind of cool to give them a shot, on a bigger stage,
My my only thing about using Ring of Honor guys is they have to get synced up on their tapings. Because it's gonna be really weird seeing, if, let's just say, for example, because it would be really cool if they did it, like a Jay Briscoe or a Jay Lethal. If they brought them over there, it would be really cool to see. But if it doesn't make sense on Ring of Honor's, show, then it's gonna be weird. Like, it doesn't always have to like make sense, but we gotta get some continuity though too. But I'm excited. I would love to see like a world champion on there, like or somebody that used to be a world champion. And Adam Cole, baby, maybe, just maybe, just maybe. But that would be really cool to see what they're gonna do with these. I haven't really checked up on any rumors or anything. I've kind of been trying to stay away from rumors as much as possible, just to kind of stay focused on what's gonna happen, and kind of not be so kind of be so for once in my life. So if that is it, feel free to subscribe. That's one of the things you can do. Follow us on the podcast Twitter. I did let the people who follow us on the Twitter know that we were doing this like right now. So that's kind of something I did on the Twitter beforehand. You can follow me if you'd like. You can follow Casey if you'd like. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, subscribe for more of the content that we bring. I will be in a different place, so if you see the background change by next video, don't be surprised. I'm warning you now, it's going to change. I'll see you guys later. Peace.